Right now, I just wanted to talk to you more about living out my faith. So I'm like, how can I do this? What is it? How is it teachable? Do you guys know the difference between Judas and Peter? You probably know Judas because if even Lady Gaga can write a song about him, then you guys probably know. Okay, Judas, who was he? Anyone want to take a shot? Yeah?
He the guy that betrayed Jesus?
He was. Okay, he betrayed Jesus. You guys know Peter, probably, because he was one of the disciples of Jesus. He also betrayed Jesus. So these are two men who both did the same act but ended up in very different things. What did Judas do? Anyone seen Passion of the Christ? You've been in Catholic school?
I watched it in grade 11.
Oh, okay. Judas ended up hanging himself. When Jesus was crucified, he betrayed Jesus, and then he realized that Jesus was the Son of God, and then he hung himself. Peter, on the other hand, had an opportunity to go. He repented. He hid away from the Lord. When the Lord was in trouble, when Christ was in trouble, he ran away and then denied him 3 times. But he hung around after that. And later when he meets Jesus, Jesus asks him 3 times, "Do you love me?" And every time he goes, "Yes, Lord, you know I love you." And he makes up for those 3 times he denied Jesus. He says, "Yes, I love you." And then he repents. He says, "I'm sorry." And I bring this up because I think that's what life is about. It's a choice. It's about realizing that we do things we either run from God or do something bad, we do something sinful, we hurt someone, and we can either face up to it, own it, or we can run away from it. Judas was too proud to realize that I can just go ask Jesus for forgiveness and he'll give it to me. But he said, "No, I can't do that. I've sinned too greatly. It's too bad. This is it. I have to go just end my life. There's nothing after this." Peter hung on and eventually just accepted that God's grace is bigger than this. Bigger than the betraying Jesus and running away. So this is what life is. It's a constant choosing and it's a battle. That's what it really is. So each morning or each day, hopefully as a Christian, I wake up and I go, am I going to run closer to God today or am I going to run the other way? There's no staying in the middle, really. You can't just sit on a fence. You're either going closer or further away from God. So what am I going to do this day? And it's kind of like Batman. Remember in Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne falls down the well and Alfred's there and he's like, we fall so we learn how to get back up again. And the Christian journey isn't to be perfect. It's to realize that God set the bar here and we may never get there, but it's something to go for. It's to fall and keep going and struggling. And in that, we have this relationship with God where he helps us and he teaches us. And when, like many of your friendships, when you go through struggles, you get closer and you get closer, and then it ends up being something quite beautiful. So this is the Christian journey, and really has to do with a lot of temptations and things in life, and there are a lot of opportunities for good. There might be even more for bad, and sometimes I might choose the bad, sometimes I might choose the good. But in all of those, I hope I'm more like Peter and go, Lord, I need help. And when I do bad, Lord, I need help. When I do good, thank you, Lord, for this one. Please help me with the next one. And slowly there's growth that happens and opens up and becomes something quite beautiful. So it is something quite beautiful. And there's a lot of peace and joy if you've given it your all, even if some days you've messed up. There's a quote from John the 23rd, which is quite popular. He's a kind of pudgy Italian pope who I think I was told once liked to hide behind statues and talk to people when they were looking at statues and be like, hey, and then people would think it was God, but it was really just this pudgy pope running around. So, yeah. But he had this quote. It's, Lord, it's your church, I'm going to bed. Because there's only so much we can do in a day. We can't control things out of our little world. So just give it to God and go to bed. So this is at the Christian day I wake up, or in the Christian's life, I wake up and I go, I'm going to try my best, and at the end of the day I went, I did my best. Maybe it was good, maybe it was bad. Lord, I'm giving this to you. Tomorrow we'll try again. And then we'll see how it goes. And at the end of that night, there's a great peace of knowing that you've given it your all. And hopefully you were more like Peter than you were Judas. And that's all I have today. So thank you very much.